All right, so I yesterday just pushed the new Transistor website live. And this is a big deal because I think it's the first templated web project, like building a template that connects to a CMS that I've built from start to finish, mostly by myself. And I've been doing web development for a long time, but and I'm probably best known for this site right here. And I had a previous version of my personal site that I had built myself. This one here was built by Jack McDade. So I've built websites before, but this new Transistor site is something that right from the beginning, using Tailwind and in Statamic CMS, I built the whole template. And I actually didn't realize how long I'd been working on this until earlier this morning. I was talking to John Buda, and he said he was going through the commit messages, and he said, guess when you had your initial commit on this. And it was back in May 2019. So May, June, July, August, September, October, and now we're in November. But that's 6 months that we've been, I've been working on it. And it's interesting to go through these. Like, a lot of these initial commits were me just figuring out, a lot of things. Working on a home page, testing it on page speed insights. That was kind of like the initial, there was a bunch of reasons I wanted to build the site in Statamic, but initially our scores on page speed insights were really, really bad. And I wanted to improve those, and I'd been using Statamic on my personal site and had really enjoyed it. I think, when did I launch this site? I think it was in, let's see here. Must have been, maybe it's been a year now. So I launched this October 26th, 2018. So yeah, just over a year now. And the whole point was on our old Transistor site. I wonder if I can still, I don't know if there's still a cached version around here. Let's see here. Yeah, now I don't have a version of the old one, but already our page speed scores have improved quite a bit. And I think our old mobile score was 23, and our old desktop score was, I can't remember, but they're really bad speeds. So that was one of the initial motivations for, rebuilding the website. And so I just wanted to show you around, because it has been a really long time, and I had tons and tons of help. I was really learning on the job here because I'd never done anything like this before. I'd never had to, build all of this templated stuff myself before, and I'd never built any website with Tailwind before. So this is kind of a big deal for me, and I just want to show you around. So here is the homepage right now, and we did a bunch of things on this page to make it load faster. One of the things we did was we're using this trick here. This is a YouTube video, but we're not loading the whole player right away. You have to click on here, and then one of the best parts about having a trend. So a little bit of a trick there. We're using a lot of lazy loading. So if we go into the HTML here, and if you've never used Tailwind before, some of these classes will look funny, but we've got, oh man, there's so much interesting stuff here. So one is we've got WebP and JPEG fallbacks for a lot of these images. And I'm guessing actually in our page speed score, some of the other quick wins we could do are all around image sizes. So we're using this picture element here, and then you use source set. You set the WebP version, the JPEG version, and then you use the JPEG version as the backup. You can also see that we are, here we're setting the width right here, and then the loading on most of these images. If you keep looking down, we've got loading lazy set on a lot of these. Also kind of to optimize page speed. So yeah, loading lazy down here too. And this whole template here actually, let's actually go over here. This whole template, let me just quickly find the login for this. What is it? I don't even know what my password is for this. Oh yeah, because I'll just do it locally here. There we go. So this is kind of the control panel for Statamic, and if we go to the home page here, you can see that there's not actually much happening in the CMS portion. It's just this blob of HTML and this blob of HTML. There's no real reason to even have it in the CMS, except we might want some flexibility later. So yeah, this home page is all custom HTML code. Once we get into the blog, these are templated, and so if we look at the control panel and we go to blog posts, you can see these are all written in an editor, and it's kind of cool actually to enter new blocks. You can enter them here, and so you can do really cool stuff. Like I've got this call to action that I could just put anywhere. So if I save that and preview it, this call to action shows up right here. Let me show you what happens when I remove it. Delete it, save it, refresh, and that's how it looks. So there's just all this cool stuff I've built in here. Let me show you another one. So you can see I've got all these collections here, right? I've got blog, frequently asked questions, features. Let's say that around here, I've already written content for this in our frequently asked questions section. So I might say, oh, you know what? I want to insert that right here. So I'm going to go to frequently asked questions, and I'm going to, maybe I'll choose this one here. Why do I need transistor? Save that, go back, refresh, and then it automatically inserts that content that, I've put it over here. Why do I need transistor? But I can reuse that content in all sorts of places. For example, we're using it on our pricing page. If you go to pricing, you can see we're showing these frequently asked questions here, but they're styled differently. So this is all stuff that I just built in month after month. It was always like, I'd have an idea, and then usually I'd do a live stream like this and just try things out. So that's really cool. Another thing that's cool in terms of search engine optimization, which is really important for our industry, is this features collection. So these frequently asked questions, these are just kind of blobs of content that I can use throughout on different pages. The same is true for these features, but they also have their own landing page. So this one here is talking about our embeddable player. I can insert this content wherever I want, but it also has its own landing page. So each of our features is at /features/ and then, the full thing. And right now I need to rework this page here, but if we go to that page, so that's the features page, you can see that a lot of it is built just using these blobs of content I've already written, and they're inserted there, and then I have additional things written here. But it's nice that I have the flexibility of using them as their own landing pages like this, or I can or I can embed that content in a page. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool. Another thing I wanted to mention is that, and I need to do this for kind of all the images on the site. Eventually I'll get there. But I'm using Glide to automatically generate new versions of images. So if I have a new image, it will automatically generate a JPEG that's 400 pixels wide in this case, and then another one that's 200 pixels wide for the smaller mobile breakpoint, and then a WebP version of both. So this one is generating WebP, and then this one here is generating the JPEG fallback. Here's that, if you want to see the HTML for that call to action that I was mentioning. So I have that call to action. I reuse it all over the site. You can see it. This is another cool thing I should show you, is this header here. This is something John added, my partner. When you scroll through things, there's a kind of a blur, and you can still see it behind the header. I really like that part. But yeah, these call to actions are kind of everywhere, and right here again, there's lots of examples of us reusing content. If I go to that About page, in this case, I've put a frequently asked question right here. So the ability to write content just once and then reuse it in different places, this to me kind of feels like the future. It also means that when we identify blocks of text or content that is likely to change in the future, it's better to make it, one of these sections that we kind of put everywhere, and then we only need to update it in one place. So if something changes, like features are like this, features change all the time, we can just update it in one place, and then it kind of proliferates throughout the site. It's really cool. All right, so I was going to show you something else, and now I've forgotten. Okay, I've got that call to action thing. I showed you that. This is what the header looks like. This is the footer. We have just a bunch of links. This footer actually came from the guys at Tailwind are working on these new components, and they are where is that? Because they had a landing page for it. Because they have these base components, but they're actually going to be adding some really crazy, like a big collection of these that you can buy. But I can't remember where they have the link for that. But anyway, they gave me early access to some of those. And the idea is that you can easily just kind of grab the HTML with the Tailwind classes already in there. And then if you're using Tailwind, you can literally just put it into your project and then customize it from there. So we took, Steve Shoger designed this initial footer, and we took that and we used it on our site. We modified it. But the basic kind of design was done by Steve Shoger, and we just used it here. That's also true with the pricing table, which has been something that's always a really big hassle to build yourself. You know, getting these mobile breakpoints right. Let me show you what it looks like in mobile view. So, and let's bring this down a bit. So this is all from the Tailwind components. We customized it, but it automatically gives us a really great view on mobile devices. This is the Pixel 2 here. And we have a little switcher here that John Buda designed. There's definitely some of these things that I couldn't have done by myself. Like that switcher was a little bit above my pay grade. But I set up the initial pricing table myself using that component that Steve sent me. So yeah, really cool stuff. So let's see, what else do I want to show you? The pricing, this page definitely took a while to build. Yeah, the blog is pretty cool too. We have it kind of set like this, and here's a good example of a blog post I'm working on right now so I'm working on this locally, and the other thing I really like about working with Tailwind is that all of this is in source control. So right now I'm in a branch called blog choose your category, and if I want to, I can push this live to the site, and then John could approve it just like a regular feature, right? So you can have a deployment pipeline that's really similar to what you're already doing for your app. So I've been writing this here. It's pretty much ready to go. So let's say that it's kind of ready. I might want to add a call to action at the end, right? Save that. And if I want this to go live, I'll just click published. But maybe I want John to check it before it actually goes out. I'll just commit all my changes, right? So commit this here. Then I'll push it up to GitHub. Okay, and now I can create a pull request. And all of this can work with it just works the way we normally deploy features, right? And so in this case, I have this blog post here, right? So I can copy this and I could just say, here's a new blog post. What do you think? And if I want to connect it to Clubhouse, I can do that here. Create the pull request. It's going to make sure there's no conflicts. And now I could, if I want to, I could wait for John to look at it, and then we could merge this pull request. And as soon as we merge the pull request, that blog post will get merged into master and then automatically show up here on the on the marketing site. So yeah, that I really like that part too. Yeah, this has been fun, and I think it definitely took too long to get it out the door, but now that it's done and it's live, we can really start to tweak things and work on, fixing all the stuff. Like I mentioned, this features page is not great yet, and I want to do a lot more writing. There's some tweaks we could probably make on the pricing page. And the big thing will be to see whether all of these speed improvements help improve our search rankings. So our speed reports, here's our mobile scores and our desktop scores. And if you look at these over time, look right here, it shoots up from 33 to 93. Just a big page speed score increase. So that's awesome to actually see that represented like that. It shows us that we've done a good job. So yeah, now that this is really fast, we'll see if our actual search rankings improve over time. What's the I can't remember actually how I see this here. I think it's, do I go top pages? Yeah, so here's our top pages right now. Maybe we'll get more click-throughs. Maybe the position of the page will improve. And then we've also got our top keywords here. And we can see if, do these improve as well? Is this still loading? Anyway, oh yeah, here we go. So how to start a podcast, that's one that we definitely want to improve our position on. And maybe if a lot of people come to the site and click on this and it loads really fast, especially on their phone. This is what it would look like on the phone. Looks really great. The hope is that more people will find us and maybe more people sign up. I think that's all I want to say. Just wanted to share that. Really, excited to have it out and to just see all this hard work, all these commits over ages and ages, all right here. And I did mention on Twitter that by the way, are these all? Yeah, these are working. I did mention on Twitter, where is it? Right here, that there's lots and lots of people that helped with this site. Steve Shoger, Sam Podlegar, Adam Wathen, Ben Furphy, Jack McDade. We had Yaz and James and Aaron. They got me out of a lot of sticky situations, so it was nice to have their help on this project and kind of teach me on the job and be really patient as I was trying to figure all this stuff out. All right. Hope you enjoyed that. If you have any questions, you could leave a comment on this, and I'll reply to those later.